Yes guys, it's your boy Crookesalot and welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at how good is Mirage in Season 6 of Apex Legends. But before we get into it, if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you go and do so and ring the bell so you never miss any of my future content. Also, if you're interested in following me on Twitch or Instagram, the link is in the description below. Okay ladies and gents, let's get into it. So, where do we really start off with Mirage? He's definitely the most charismatic legend of all the roster in Apex Legends. He is very witty, has great voice lines. He's a very, very likeable hero. But we'll start off with his kit. So, Mirage's passive is called Now You See Me. Automatically cloak when using respawn beacons and reviving teammates. This is an awesome passive ability, guys. So essentially, the reviving of teammates where you become invisible, there are rings on Mirage's arms that are slightly visible from a certain distance, so bear that in mind when trying to pop that revive in a hot area. But generally, you won't really get spotted. Obviously, it makes the reviving noise, so people will be looking for you, but they probably won't be able to see you. A very, very useful ability in numerous situations and has saved my life more than once. Also, when you're not playing as Mirage or there's a Mirage on another team and you can't find them when they're cloaking and reviving, very annoying, very hard to deal with. Please note though that grenade like an arc star can be very useful in these situations. So we'll move on to his tactical ability. It's called Psych Out. So Mirage sends out a holographic decoy to confuse the enemy. Press down on the D-pad to control the decoy. This is awesome. So you send his Mirage out, you press down on the D-pad and it will mimic exactly what you do. Very useful when running in open areas, or trying to escape, or trying to bait an enemy out, or sending somebody through a doorway first. It's very, very useful. It does take quite a bit of time to get used to it because it doesn't deal any damage, obviously. It's merely a physical ability where obviously he's sending out a decoy. But you'll see in this clip, I've tried to send a decoy through the door but failed miserably. Drop the ultimate, but these guys are too busy trying to hide, run and hide. But there were a Mirage in the background there that I shot. Obviously they're almost indistinguishable from actual legitimate players. And there's the Invisicloaking right there, awesome. But yeah, it's an awesome ability. Mirage does have a very high skill level to become a very good Mirage player, so just bear that in mind before you pick him up. And his ultimate ability is called Life of the Party. Mirage deploys a team of controllable decoys to distract enemies. Please note, when this is used, Mirage becomes invisible for about 1 to 2 seconds. It's very, very brief. He's recently been reworked because he used to go invisible for longer. That was like the whole part of his ultimate, but now that's just brief, so then you blend in with the other decoys. Don't forget to press down on the D-pad, guys. This is critical, because otherwise the Mirages will just run off in different directions, but they're pretty easy to distinguish between a Mirage decoy and the actual Mirage. But if you press down on the D-pad and then you're jumping and sliding and crisscrossing, it's so difficult to detect the right one, unless you physically saw him become uninvisible, in which case then obviously you're onto the real one. But if not, very, very difficult to distinguish. So we've got quite a lot of good clips today with Mirage. I have a lot of fun with him personally. I got his heirloom last season during the event. Yeah, it was last season, yeah, and it's awesome. It's a trophy of himself. I'm not actually sure if there's a part of this clip with the actual heirloom in it, but it's just a pretty cool little thing. When you hold left on the D-pad, he'll pull a little cord, a bit like Woody off Toy Story, and then there's a snake in my boot. Apart from he'll say something obviously Mirage related. It's really funny and it's a nice little touch, especially considering his personality in the game. I do really enjoy playing with him. He took me a while to get used to. I never actually played with him before he was reworked last season, or maybe just at the beginning of last season. But he's so much more viable now, guys. He's a really, really awesome hero to use. He's not as easy to use as I've mentioned to like a Wraith. Not that Wraith's easy to use, but she's significantly easier to use than a Mirage. Mirage typically depends on being able to bamboozle your opponents, and you've just got to learn when is an appropriate time to use the decoy. It's on a 10-second cooldown, so it's very quick, especially with a gold helmet. You can spam these bad boys out, and like, if you're going to go around a corner, send a decoy. It's worth it. You'll have it back before you've even ran around the corner, do you know what I mean? Obviously it's super awesome as well, using his ultimate. It's really good for, especially when you're low on health and trying to escape, or even if you're in a building. Guys, it is so hard to detect the real Mirage. Obviously, if you are, you are the actual Mirage and you like run into the enemy trying to either get closer to him or whatever, then sometimes it doesn't work. You can be quite easily like bamboozle yourself, essentially trying to be too smart with it. But a really cool trick to use is pretend that you're a decoy. This works so often, you'd be surprised. Just use it. Obviously, when you come out of invisibility, just stand against the wall or something for like a second, 2 seconds, and they'll be shooting the ones that are running off, and then you can turn around whilst their attention is elsewhere and try and kill them. That was a nice little Hemlock clip. Also, the Hemlock is really good blind firing. You'll see quite a few kills of it in these montage of clips, let's say. Really awesome. So, where do I think Mirage is in the scale, the pyramid of legends in Apex Legends as of Season 6? Now, last season, if you'd have asked me that, I would have said that he's probably up the higher end of the scale. Definitely a very viable hero to play. But this season, I feel like he's maybe, say if we've got S tier being the top legends, A, B and C tier, we don't have a D tier here, guys, because I feel like every legend is viable in their own way. Anybody can be good with any legend. It's just about putting in the time, learning their skill set and when to use their abilities and in what combination. But I'd say Mirage is probably a C tier. He's on the lower end. Not that he's not good. Obviously, even the C tier legends are very awesome legends. But I think there are other heroes out there like Bloodhound, Wraith. I still think she's absolutely awesome. Revenant. Their skills may not necessarily require more skill to use, but they're just way more effective. But that's not that Mirage isn't effective, because don't get it twisted. Look at that stick as well, ladies and gents. Whew, that was awesome. However, the follow-up is less awesome, but that stick was record worthy. But you see what I mean? Sending the decoy through the door first, and then I absolutely fail. I just, bruh, I've got a Sentinel as well. I should have tried no-scoping him really, but my teammates got my back. Shout out to Whiteley, that was an awesome player. But yeah, anyway, let's get back into it. So I currently have about 50, maybe less than 50 kills with him in Season 6. I have been playing with a lot of different heroes though, especially considering I'm trying to make these videos, one about each legend. So I haven't been able to play with like Bloodhound as much as I usually would have done. But I've been having fun with a much wider variety of legends than I normally would do. Normally I'd keep it to like a 3 or 4 legend kind of pool, but this season I've been using a bit of everyone. Obviously we've had the new legend Rampart, so I've been just chilling, you know what I mean, playing with a bunch of different guys. And look at this. Whew, told you, it's awesome close range, guys. It is awesome, the Hemlock. But yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun with Mirage. He's definitely not as good as he was last season, but he's still very viable. Definitely a great hero to use. I love his decoys. His decoys are awesome. They're actually really useful because you send the decoy out. Say an enemy player shoots your decoy thinking it was you. It will tell everybody on your team exactly where the shots were fired from. So in a way, he's giving people, your whole team, information about where enemy players are, which is pretty cool. It definitely can help you out in a lot of situations, especially if they fall for the decoy. Like, look what I'm doing, I'm healing here, but my decoy's out on the balcony, so if anybody shoots that, I'll know exactly where they are. Obviously it's only for a brief period of time, but it still gives you that information nonetheless. His passive ability, as mentioned before, is really useful, especially when resurrecting, respawning teammates from respawn beacons, because it's just, you just stood there normally, do you know what I mean, when you're trying to pop off this revive and you're getting shot up because you just stood there like a blooming potato, don't know what to do, you can't really do out. This guy as well, if you just saw that, through the incendiary can't even say it, grenade down, and he walks into it, and then as he's getting hit, he jumps back into it again. He literally runs over it maybe 3 times, and it just melts him, plus with the damage I did to him as well, and then he's down, and we get the kill. Nicey nice. But yeah, because you're going invisible whilst you are respawning teammates, it's so useful. It's like a silent assassin respawn, which is nice to see. Again, we're running with the flatline vault combo. Like, both these guns are awesome, guys. Absolutely awesome. The vault, particular, is so good close range. I much prefer it to the R99. I mean, yeah, the R99 shoots faster, but the accuracy, guys, you cannot argue that the accuracy is definitely there with the R9. Obviously, it's lacking so much, whereas the vault has just got insane accuracy. Even hip firing, those crosshairs, that is as big as the crosshairs get. It is awesome. Invisible. So, I've been having a lot of fun with him. I find that you can be absolutely screwed though when you come across a Revenant, because if he shoots you with his L1, his tactical ability, you'll be silenced and you'll just be a regular Joe. You'll literally have nothing, guys. Your whole kit, I mean, I know that's the same with every legend, but your whole kit revolves around the Mirages, similar to Crypto's revolves around his drone, whereas like a Revenant still got his passive crouching, and you've still got your passive, I believe you still have your passive if you're silenced, I'm not entirely sure, but see what I mean about the marker there? I knew where he was, came around the back to help my teammate, she goes down, but I'm here to clean up. Somehow this guy just fails epically, tries to push me with a slide, but he's just not having it. The vault at close quarters is unmatchable. In this game, I have a Mozambique with hammer points. Now, I really like this gun, and it is really awesome, and I actually do quite well with it, but if I'd have picked up the golden vault that I find later on, I don't pick it up because I'm sticking to my hammer points. There's a one-shot kill there. Those two are fighting, and now he's running off. If I'd have picked up the gold vault, I may have got the dub, but because I stuck with the Mozambique, you're only limited to really using it whilst they have no shield. I mean, you can get them super low, shoot them once to break the shield, and then you've still got 3 shots with hammer points, which is definitely going to kill them. But it's all about just getting used to that, especially with the 4 shots, guys. It's taken me a while. I still think I've only got 3 shots half the time, so I'm just getting used to it, alright? So cut me some slack. But to conclude about Mirage, he is a really fun legend to use. Fun being the key word. I'm definitely going to recommend that you try him out if you've never played him before. If you're wondering whether you should unlock him or not, definitely, guys. He's definitely worth the red, whatever it is, red orbs, red currency. He's definitely worth it. He just takes some getting used to, that's all. I mean, I know that's very similar with every other legend. You just need to practice, practice, practice. But in the right hands, Mirage can be a great hero and a really good team player, especially for Invisa reviving on the go in their heat of battle. That is a really, really useful part of his kit. But would I say he's as good as Lifeline? No. Would I say he's as good as Pathfinder? Probably not. He's definitely one of the weaker heroes out of all these reviews that I've done so far, but that by no means means that he's a weak legend. He is awesome to use, and in the right hands, you can be devastating with Mirage, bamboozling people left and right. He is truly, truly awesome. Right, I just wanted to finish this video with explaining what we are going to be doing on this Crookesalot channel going forward. So I am currently in the middle of building a streaming setup. It's going to be freaking awesome. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. I really hope that you guys check me out on Twitch when I get everything going. But I'm going to have lights, I'm going to have a nice PC, a nice camera, so you've got some good video quality going on there. We're going to have some awesome little features and overlays and all this cool stuff. I'm really excited to share this stuff with you guys. But just let it be known that it is an expensive and time-consuming process setting up a stream setup, as I mentioned. So that's probably not going to be coming till about Christmas time, guys. So early next year, we're going to be Crookesalot streaming live. It's going to be awesome. I hope we engage a lot in the chat and have a bunch of laughs with each other. That is my plan. I really want to engage with you guys a lot more. I'll be playing with followers and engaging in a bunch of different ways, and I hope that you guys will spend some of your quality time with me on a couple of selected days yet to be decided. But anyways, that's pretty much it from this video. We've just got this. I've just missed that gold vault a minute ago. I chose not to pick it up. It was kind of just like a preference, but I should have picked it up in hindsight. I actually do pretty good to get this guy. The G7 is freaking awesome. I can't wait to get that level 100 skin for it. But look, I'm so low, tried to bamboozle him, but unfortunately it just wasn't to be. Ended up being a GG, guys. Anyway, if you had fun with the video, please leave a comment, tell me what you thought down below, drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's been your boy Crookesalot, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.